Alright, this is week 3 of our business ethics video series. I am Robert Steinbauer and today we talk about ethical leadership and ethical culture. As always, if you have any questions, please sign up for my office hours or voice them during our online class. So, let's get started. First, we need to cover some basic definitions. So, what is culture? Well, culture is defined as the sum of accepted behavioral standards of a specified group that are based on shared learning beliefs, traditions, and principles. This general definition of culture stresses that culture only applies within a specified group, meaning that if you are in different groups, you will likely experience different cultures, even though there may be only a few members different. So let's move on to a corporate culture, a culture within an organization. This culture is defined as the basic, taken for granted assumptions and beliefs that are shared by members of the organization. And they define an organization's view of itself and of its environment. These beliefs can be implicit or explicitly stated, for example in the mission, vision, and value statement. And they determine how employees and management interact and handle outside business. But what is really important, corporate culture is the most powerful contextual factor to influence employee ethical conduct. The taken for granted assumptions determine what conduct is expected from employees. Let's say you are a very ethical person, but work for an organization whose culture does not care for ethical conduct. When managers even encourage aggressive sales tactics, will you stick to your morals, while all of your co-workers deceive their customers to get bigger bonuses? More importantly, do you think you'll be happy working for this company? On the bright side, if the corporate culture values ethical conduct and cares about customer satisfaction, long-term profits, and holds people accountable for their actions, and so on, employees who tend to be more relaxed about their moral values are more likely to act ethically. Again, individuals' conduct is often a product of the context they find themselves in. They do what others around them expect them to do. We briefly talked about the Milgram Experiment when we covered Moll's engagement. Displacement of responsibility. The Milgram Experiment discussed obedience to authority and illustrates just how much power the environment has over our behavior. Please watch the YouTube video about the Milgram Experiment. I also listed the link in my syllabus, so you should be able to simply copy and paste it, or you can go to the slides, whichever is easier for you. While you watch the video, please think about the following things. What Moll's engagement strategies were used throughout the clip, especially when they explain why they acted that way? What were the most interesting justifications provided? And what has to happen for you to act differently? Or do you think you wouldn't act that way anyways? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and were able to answer the questions. Now let's get back to corporate culture. As I mentioned before, the beliefs can be implicit or explicitly stated. That means that the corporate culture consists of formal and informal systems, processes, and interactions. Formal aspects of the corporate culture include the organizational structure, written policies, a formalized mission, vision, and value statement, the formal reward system, socialization and onboarding mechanisms, and standardized decision processes. On the other hand, informal aspects of an organizational culture include implicit behavioral norms, rituals, the language that is used within colleagues, role models, and so on. Now that we know what an organizational culture is and that each group has their own culture, I would like you to think about this class's culture. Can you think of some formal or informal aspects? We'll discuss them in our next online class.